mind spending money on 2K, but I also don't really mind spending money on 2K. My problem is making builds that are like we talked about when the space first started, but it's making builds that are like not good because I miss certain things. Like
Mm.
because I can go back to like 2K19 and in 19, bro, like it was dang near impossible to make a bad build because you could go max wingspan on a sharp, you could go minimum wingspan, you could make a stretch that had max wingspan. Like you can make all types of builds, and it was really really hard to make a build that like wasn't going to be usable in the game. But the last couple of years when we've had this custom builder, there's literally builds that you can make that you're like that build's trash. Like why is that even in the game? Like for me, like every build in the game should be usable. If you can make a build that should be usable, why is like builds in the game like that are not even good? You
That
know, that's
sounds
like that's my biggest problem because like I think that's why I've spent so much money on 23 is because like I have like 9 builds and probably like 5 to 6 of them are like not even builds that I would ever use because like they're just not really good. There's stuff that's better that I have like a 6.9 versus like a 6.7 or 6.6 sharp. Like I'm gonna use a 6.9 because it can shoot just as good. Like there's got to be reasons to have like to make any kind of build in the game. Now the way they talked about 24 is that way, but again, like I guess it's just wait and see. But I just don't like how like you can make a build and it just not be like it's just a trash build. Like that makes no sense. Like you're
yeah.
basically like I don't want to say you're scamming people, but it's like allow them to like take that VC and go make a different build. Like they've already bought the VC. Like why can't you let them take that VC and return that build and make a different one that's actually good?
It's
You know,
facts.
because
I
back
think
in
that's
the day,
better.
Yeah, I
because back
agree.
in the day, like there wasn't really bad builds.
Mm.
You know, like 16, 17, 18, 19. Like it was really hard to make. Even in 20 with pie charts, it was so hard to make a bad build on with the pie charts. Like I had 4 or 5 builds with pie charts, and all of them were good. You know, last two years, like half my builds have been trash because like you're on day one, you're making builds, and you're like, oh, 6 months go by, like, yep, that's the better build now. I got to go make that.
Mm.
Like it's gonna be that way, you know.
Yeah,
But
and the
could that be
first
the
thing,
conspiracy that 2K is making Bill bad, or we don't go into that
Is
aspect
it?
of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's them making bad. I don't know if it's
Mm.
like 2K intentionally. Like I don't think it's intentional on 2K's
Mm-mm.
end to like
Mm.
allow people to make bad builds. I think they really try with this custom builder to like make it so that any build is good, but it's like at the end of the day, it just doesn't work because it's either too limiting or it's not limiting enough, and there's no balance. It's like there's no real balance with the builder that we have.
Let
Well,
You
me
know.
let me add this real quick, yeah, because I've seen people, we help a lot of people within our Discord with their bills. So I've seen people present bills based on their experience, their IRL experience, or what they've seen on TV. They want to emulate their favorite player. So they'll increase an attribute like the mid range, for instance, over the three-pointer. To when players who normally play the game see the build, we can instantly tell you where you went wrong because we see the builds from threshold perspectives. If you want to shoot from here, you need it at this level. If you want to shoot here, you want to shoot consistent, you need this three. What I'm saying here is that why don't the build some become somewhat irrelevant compared when you compare it to where the development team adjusts the sliders. So no matter what we see, whether it's a 99 steel, does it play like a 99 steel? The beginning
and
of 2K23, it played like a 99 steel. The end of 2K23 plays like 65 steel, 70 steel.
that's what I mean by the conspiracy.
Mm.
So, are the Bills bad, or is the game changing on us season one, season two, season three to where
Mm.
we need multiple Bills?
Big questions.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's the latter for sure. Like I would go back to that 99 still. Like that was the build to make on defense to be a lock. And the moment they adjusted the game, it changed the way you had to play. And then it made it go back like that point is irrelevant to have that 99 still. So we went back to the drawing board and we could have a build that could have more speed with ball, more ball handling, more ability to shoot over that 99 still. So we went back to
Mm.
to the drawing board and adjusted it.
and that's when people spent even more money to make even new builds because that
Mm.
gameplay update.
To that point, it makes it even more problematic that when we have to like do this scavenger hunt to find out what gets changed in the game, every time they change it, because it's not.
Bingo.
It ain't like
Hmm.
we're told. You got to look down your Twitter feed and see who found what. Check people's videos. Like, oh, this is what was changed, and then somebody else is saying something else changed. You don't even know because they don't get
So that
anything.
goes, yeah, that goes back to whether or not it was a scam or not. Because imagine if you didn't have the internet. Imagine if 2K Labs wasn't around and you bought the game. You're a kid. You have no information. You have nothing to go off of. You spend money. You make a build, and now it's ass because you didn't meet any threshold that you tried to meet to try to get something because you didn't even know.
But
You
you
mean
did
so?
it
Then you just
compared.
That's
You did
crazy.
it compared to your what you see like an attribute. You thinking the
right,
85 mid
exactly.
range is gonna hit consistently. 85 mid range.
Right.
That's a good
Or
number.
say, or say you hit 85 driving dunking, didn't hit 86, so you don't have that one badge that you needed to hit for that threshold, or you don't get those contact dunks because you did not know that you needed one more attribute higher. So if you like, the internet has changed things for us. You know what I mean? The
I,
internet and how it works changed the whole game. But like, imagine a decade ago. You know what I mean? And this type of a complex game is out and everything. You have no information. You go make a build and you just totally blew all the thresholds out to where you didn't even meet any of them, so you can't even get the animations or do what you want to do with the build to begin with, so you have to make another one.
well, I'm sure 2K, the business side of 2K, is upset about that. Upset they
Yo, but
didn't see
all
it that
Prompts.
much
cities.
sooner.
Hey, all
Yeah,
cities.
Prompts.
yeah.
I first noticed it in 2K15. I called Jay Easy, 2K15. I said something is wrong with the game, bro. Why is at the end of the cycle, everybody is making everything? So we seen it. We've been seeing it since for a while now. I first noticed it in 2K15, but maybe y'all have noticed it earlier. We are seeing the builds that we call trash somehow being good at the end of the game.
Hmm.
Yeah, and just
We've been talking about this heavy.
piggybacking off of what I don't know who was talking at the time, but I feel like every year since I've been in the community, there has been an issue with like builds or whatever. And to a certain extent, I do feel like as far as like the builder, because like when archetypes were in the game, like a vast majority of the community, from what I was seeing, were complaining about archetypes. And then when it went to like pie charts, a lot of people were complaining about pie charts. They're like, I should be able to make a Kevin Durant type or LeBron James type build. So then it seemed like when it moved into like an open builder, and then it's like, now a lot of people are frustrated with like the builder and stuff now. So it's like I see it too, like on both ends. Cause like me personally, back when it was like just a balanced and like I didn't have a problem with that build system, but then it's like when it changes, of course I adapt to it, and then it's like another group comes in and they don't like that, and then it goes back to that thing where not everybody's talking about, oh, I wish it would have stayed like 15, and then when we get to 19, they're like, oh, I wish it would have stayed like 17 and 18, and then when we get to 21, they're like, oh, I wish it would have stayed like 19, and then like it never ends, like it never ends.
But
Well, that's why I
I want
said that I feel like you should always be able to earn to be able to fundamentally change your build, whether it be cap breakers, whether it be badge breakers. Once the build is made, once you max it out and even core it, that's really the end of the grind for that build. And I've always felt like that was too short in the gaming process for 2K24 or for 2K in general. If you had the ability to be able to fundamentally change your builds, whether it be respecking or getting your cap breakers past the level that you already have, I think that brings a different dynamic to the grind for NBA 2K. And I've always been a person that's addressed that to there, which will help alleviate some of the issues, especially with the costs that we're seeing in the community.
big facts. That's the answer. If we're gonna continue down this path of 2K raising prices, that's a good answer. We need a compromise where we're not feeling bamboozled as the consumers, and then we're not spending a little money here, over $100. So you make 10 bills, that's 1,000. So we're feeling bamboozled because we can't respect that build. If 2K changed the game, give us the option, or at least if the gameplay changes, even if it's inadvertent. Like they wanted to fix one aspect of the game, and inadvertently it kind of messes up this aspect of the game. 2K should know that it messed up that aspect of the game, something that they'll eventually become aware of because the community is extremely vocal. So from that perspective, it should say, all right, everybody gets a respec option. I've seen them do this, something very similar in 2K16, where they boost. I don't know if you guys remember this, but for the vets in here, they know. In 2K16, there was a time where your rep bar just stood still, and it lasted for a couple months. And for the vets, they know. In 2K16, they boosted everybody up a level. So I went from, I think it was Legend 2 to Legend 3 in one day. So it's little compromises like this and incentives like this that show that there's a connection there between you and the company that you're investing so much time with. They hear us, they feel us, they get it. But these things aren't happening. All we see is inflation costs and builds, and then we get this option to pay for premium rewards. So if you're anything like me, you're wondering where were those rewards at when the seasons were free?
Hmm.
Mm,
Yo, Austin, I have a question. One more question. I know I
mm,
said one.
you got it.
Before glitch builds in 2K22, did you enjoy 2K22? Even after the glitch build, but before. Then I want to ask something else.
I enjoyed 2K out of the three, 21, 22, 23. I enjoyed probably 2K22 the best.
But my question is, before the glitch build, how did you feel about the building system?
I've never had a problem with it. I've never had a
Okay.
problem with the build system, mainly because
Okay.
it seems like the build system is less relevant to your experience on the floor. What seems more relevant is where they're adjusting those sliders. So
Now,
that what do those bills attributes look like when they're on the floor? 2K has the power behind that. And the attributes don't always match what you're supposed to experience on the floor is what I'm getting at.
now we seen something amazing, and Twin, you can attest to this. Jarvis, I call him Twin.
Mm.
Anonymous was one of the most feared sim head in 2K22 from using regular builds. When the glitch build came out, everybody started winning because the builder broke the system of what 2K22 was designed to play like. So we have seen 2K do a great job with the building system, and we seen the building system play within the game and do what it's supposed to do. But when people go out their way and break the building system, then we also have that as well. So when we see 2K do a good job with gameplay, we see people find a way to exploit it.
But that's another issue at hand as well, because and that's something that we should talk about too, because I don't feel that there's anybody who can't get their hands on coding that could break a game. All they're really doing is exposing the weaknesses of the game. Uh, and and I think that's bound to happen, especially with a AAA title. The game is getting in so many people's hands. What I'm getting at here is I don't think we can blame the player. You blame whoever's creating the game in regards to exploits and things. And I understand the developer side of things is, hey, we can't catch everything, and you guys are diligent in your efforts. So I get that process, but we're talking about a AAA company, endless amounts of financing, the unlimited power, or at least a large amount of power and influence within gaming that can't find exploits before the game is released. To add to that, I think 2K would have probably realized with all their teams, I think they would have realized that it served to their benefit to have this exploit in the game because everybody and their mother went out and made a 6.9 build.
Yeah, facts. I was about to say the same thing.
Mm,
Like since
mm,
I've been in the community, if y'all can remember or whatever, every time a glitch or a glitch build, a animation glitch, any type of glitch that causes you or us, the community, to spend more VC, it seems like it gets overlooked. But if it's any type of glitch that, you know, a VC glitch or something like that, like, like those things
mm.
get fixed, right, almost
ASAP.
instantaneously. You can expect a
Hmm.
ban and stuff like that. But it is like at the same time, like us as the community, I feel like everybody, especially like on the comp scene, like everybody seems to be looking for a little bit more of an edge. Like
Yes,
if I
sir.
could figure this out,
Yeah.
if I could glitch some animations, if I can glitch this or glitch that to get a little bit more of an edge, I'm gonna do it. And then like
Mm-hmm.
whoever finds it first or whatever, they're gonna make a video that blows up on it or whatever like that. So I feel like us as a community sometimes like we're
Yes.
part of our own problem, our own demise. Like we creating it ourselves. Cause like Anonymous was saying, like 2K20, I mean not 20 but 22, before the glitch builds came out, when Anonymous was using like his regular build, and like I was using my shooting center or whatever. Like we were not losing. And then as soon as like some glitch builds came out, like everybody doing everything, man, we like, man, what is going on? Like it was wild.
And
And
all city, I disagree because I reacted to your YouTube video, and I normally don't really disagree with you, but that's one of the videos I reacted to that I disagree. We as the community have to take blame too, and that's the same thing I got on Man Swante. We have to take blame as the community. Yes, the company. Once we find the glitch, it's the company job to fix the glitch. But why is the community going out here spreading the virus? And I feel you. I respect it. Once we find the glitch, it's 2K duty to fix it. And we know they don't do it. We know if it's a VC glitch, they'll do it. But we have to take some responsibility on the community and say, yo, you spreading the virus just as well as 2K.
And I usually stand on what I speak. So the reason why I stand on this is because I'm saying if I go out and I buy a couch and I add a recliner to it, that's me. I'm trying to get the best value out of the product that I purchased. What I'm saying here is that when a person tries to exploit or find the best way to glitch the game, that's only a power that they have through a controller, which means it was already in the game. The problem was delivered to us in the game. It just was a matter of time before somebody found it. I could understand that this was a small company and these type of issues happen. But there's a large company with over 2 decades of experience, with a tremendous workforce, tons of engineers. Engineers, we're not talking about regular old people. Engineers who are working on this game nonstop. And then they still deliver this game with a problem only a matter of time before the consumer base figures that problem out and uses it as an exploit. So I understand your logic because I think we're both speaking the same thing. I just mean to say that I don't like the idea of blaming the player base because it's their product. They purchased it. They could
I
only find
respect that.
something out that's broken.
I
That's what I'm,
respect that. I truly respect that, and like I said, on this one, it's just two men. We disagree to agree, but we talking about the same thing. But I do blame the community, and like I said, I definitely understand. We have to hold 2K to a standard because they created the game and we spent money on it. So I definitely agree with what you're saying. But
I appreciate that.
That also
I
speaks.
blame all you glitchers.
Well, that speaks to the concept of sportsmanship, right? Like there really is a lack of sportsmanship online. Like when you talk about sportsmanship in real life and the NBA, there's certain unwritten rules that even though they ain't in the rules, people are gonna adhere to because it's part of being a man or woman or a competitor, right? Like you don't want that. You want to be the best within the means of the game, right? Like, and so we don't. But online, they don't have that. I don't know if it's the whole behind the screen thing or whatever, but you see a lack of sportsmanship. You see people ruining gaming experiences. We have these people, walking out of bounds in the rec because you ain't passing them the ball, or you make one turnover and they don't want to pass you the ball no more. And they want to throw up bricks on 13 people and then ruin the gaming experience. And there's there's that part of the game that I don't know how you even address that, because it's just a matter of having that within you. You know what I mean? There has to be that competitive. There's a competitive spirit, but within the means of the game, and a lot of people don't. They just want to win by any means.
And that's what I'm getting at. That's kind of what I'm getting at as well. Is like, is it really going by any means? And if I was thinking about any means, I'm thinking, he has a homie who's a developer. He's gonna get him to adjust his own personal sliders. But by any means, just having a control in your hand is something very different. Surely they could ruin the experience, like you said, rec center out of bounds, ruining the experience. But as far as the bills being made and certain dribbling, I can't ever blame the player because they're only given the product that they purchased. Not only was it given to, they were like, it ain't like it was given to them for free. This wasn't a handout. We paid for this product. So if considering down the line that we're spending over $100 and more, then of course they're gonna be out there. It's almost like it comes with the territory. They're gonna be out there trying to get the best out of it.
Let's,
The duty of development is to make sure that they can't be out there.
yeah, historically that's a gaming thing, right? We were doing
Hmm right.
we were doing cheats back in
Exactly.
the day. Like
Yeah, Game
like
Shark.
Contra was mad impossible without the
Hmm
code. Like if you played
Facts.
Contra, gotta beat it without the code. You ain't
Yes, yes.
you can pull
Hey,
your
I
hair.
got an analogy I
Sure.
want to use. I don't know if it's a good one, but where I went to school at, we used to try to cheat on our law tests. That's why I can't read now. But listen, y'all stay in school, kids. Please, please stay in school. Go get a job, work hard, listen to your parents. All right, but so there was people selling the ACT. Now there are people that bought the transcript to cheat the ACT. All right, so I just using this analogy. Are we gonna, when they get caught with that, do we say we can't blame and because he bought it, he's still gonna fail. Once he get caught with the ACT script, he gone. Now he got to do all that over. So that's the analogy that I make. I don't know if it's a good one, but you rebuttal on it. Let me know.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a different type of analogy. This is a product that we pay for entertainment. This is not something that's a life-changing thing for us unless we make it a life-changing thing, as far as how much money we spend. A ACT test could work towards your future. This is a product, like I said, that we pay for entertainment. It's like you go into the movies, you pay for a movie, and they show you something totally different than what you pay for. The first thing you do is you get up, you go speak to the manager. What's going on here? What's playing on my screen? That's the level of entertainment. You download Netflix, you pay for Netflix, and you get Hulu. And you're like, what's going on here? I download this app so I can watch this show. So I think that's what's going on with 2K. And what I'm getting at is that it's their product. They deliver it to us. We use it with a controller. So I'm saying whatever's in this game is what we got. And what I'm getting at is the exploit was already in this game. The cheese was already in this game. The consumer is definitely going to find that out because they spent money on it. So that's where I'm getting. That's why it's difficult for me to blame the consumer for breaking the game. And I'm like, hold on, that means the game was broken. Of course, the consumer has every right to go any which way they want to on this game.
Yeah. Nothing is
Yep.
made
I
perfect, so
guess
it's
that
up to the
way
developers.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
integrity played like with all city hex saying. I guess it goes back to integrity.
Yeah, I can see that. That's what I'm getting at as well. It's like I get that it comes from integrity and sportsmanship. I truly get that. But I'm almost in the mindset that of course we're gonna have these gamers in here. They're not gonna be in my circle for the most part, but I'm almost to the mindset, just like when I think of 2K as a business. Of course 2K gonna raise the prices. What we thinking? So I expect the same for the player base. I wish we did have more integrity, that we didn't have to break the game, but do I blame the homie? Nah, I don't blame you, bro. Especially now when we're paying so much more money. Go ahead and do you. However you choose to make this game fun for you, go ahead, bro.
Just know I'm gonna make a YouTube video on your ass though.
Go ahead, because this facts though. Am I not? Peep this. I'm saying you're gonna tell somebody if they buy Jay-Z's album or whoever's album. I know I'm sounding dated right now, but if they buy the latest album, you're gonna tell them how to listen to it, where to listen to it, when to listen to it.
Now, I respect it. I
You feel
respect
me?
it.
So
I
that's all
respect
I'm getting at.
I think part of that issue too is with 2K being a yearly title, because we
Hmm.
already like based on previous years, pretty much what after patch 1 or patch 2, like we don't hear anything from Mike Wayne until like the next game is finna come out or whatever.
You already
And
know.
I don't know how big or how large the development team is, but let's just say total is let's just say it's 200 devs. I know that's probably way more than it is. You got to think about how many millions of people play 2K and how many millions or
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of thousands of people are trying to get an upper hand and spending 16 hours a day trying to find what the cheese is or whatever like that. Like to me, with a game that's coming out yearly, because it's like soon as patch 2 come out, they finna be working on 25. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if like 2K even like looks at it to like spend the resources or whatever on trying to like fix certain stuff, especially if it's something that's like making the company money. You feel me?
That's a great point too. My bad.
Mm-hmm. That's big.
Just to piggyback on what they said, I think in a post recently that there's like 2 million active daily users on 2K23, which on a dead game is pretty incredible, you know. So
numbers lie.
Just to like kind of piggyback on what you were saying about people playing the game, Jess. But go ahead, Anonymous.
Now I was saying numbers not always, real, but I guess we take it for that. When you play, it's just hard to see. I can't even get a game, man, without waiting 30, 40 minutes. So where the fuck that 2 million at?
Don't you have a logo though?
Nah, I used to, man. Goddamn it, ain't tuck my shit.
Yeah.
I
didn't
my
know
feelings up here, man. Don't do me like that.
My fault, bro. I'm just saying because people know who you are, bro. They might not want that type of smoke.
Nah, that ain't the case. I don't.
I
think
know,
that's
but I'm just saying though, like compared to the casual though, the casual comes up to you or
Right.
whatever, just trying to hoop, has only an hour day off from his job before he has to please the wife and the kids and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like he might not want to go deal with that smoke.
Anonymous in the blackball courts, like they gave him they gave him a special server that nobody shows up to, so he can have bad games the rest of his life and talk trash.
Even all these other 2K players, PTSD and shit.
Nah, I feel you, but I mean, y'all don't have the issue where y'all can't get games like that in 2K23.
I mean, we haven't been out in the park like that myself.
See, it's different because you matchmaking by rec. You're never gonna really see. That's why I love matchmaking.
We've been in the rec and pro-am the whole entire year practically. You know what I mean? So it's just it's way easier for us as a group, especially since there's a pretty big unit of us. You know what I mean? So to get us all involved and everything else like that. But I'm sure that's going to change this year if everything goes according to everything. We're gonna, we're gonna be out there.
Cosplay is
we will be out there.
I think the reason why Park hasn't been as popular as it's been in the past is because of the whole neighborhood. Because before you were able to load into the game and bang, you're right there in the courts right in front of you. Now you got to go through a subway or whatever the case may be just to get to a park court to play. I'm not trying to do all that. And with the gameplay changes, with Park and Rec and all that kind of different game modes, they feel completely different. And I didn't like the Park gameplay, so I kind of went towards the Rec side more. And just knowing that you got to go through all that stuff just to go around the whole neighborhood to get games in and nobody's around, it's just like I think that's one of the real reasons why Park is not as what it used to be.
But see, it used to be 4 3v3s, 2 2v2s.
Yep.
They changed the dynamics of that, and that hurt as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think that you got these spread out parks. You got more courts, and then you have matchmaking, and that makes less. I know all the randoms are matchmaking right now. They're in the theater, so if anything, they should have made it less courts, and even just one park and keep it that way because I don't see that many people that ain't part of the team going to the park like that because it's just much more convenient. If you say you got an hour to play a night, where are you going to go to the park? Wait between games, hope some squad don't come take your game, or are you just going to go to matchmaking and play straight through the night? You know what I mean? It just makes more sense.
There's something we asked for, by the way.
Yeah. There was a time where Park was it. Everybody was getting on the game to play Park against each other, but now, hell no. So
now it would be cool if maybe they incorporated the matchmaking with the park.
Thank you.
So
right from your mic court.
Adapt into a game with somebody that's in the matchmaking system and I don't know if you do that.
You got to think of the expectation we're putting on a team. We're putting on a design team for this game that can't even give us consistent servers. You know what I mean? So once they need to figure out a way to give us consistent servers without all this latency and lag and input delay from events running in the background when you're in a totally different area of the game that's supposed to be its own individualized spot, still getting affected by everything else going on. You mean? So I'm just saying, everybody here, could you imagine going on the Call of Duty and you try to go and your gun jams? You breach a building, you breach a house to go clear a room with your squad and everything, your gun jams? or you glitch and you have that pixel, you lose frames or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're skipping across the screen, and you think you're shooting the person, but you're shooting the wall 10 feet to the left. Imagine. You know what I mean? We tolerate that. We really do tolerate that. We tolerate that more, I think, than even in the prices. With all the prices being said, we pay them for inconsistent service.
Hey, can I say one more thing? Shout out to all the kids, man. Make sure y'all pay attention to school. Go get a job, man. Stop sleeping on the couch, man. Not doing nothing. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all be safe, man.
Yeah, you
Please,
too, bro.
please, man. Make something out of
Appreciate you
yourself,
coming
man.
through.
Y'all are
Yeah, man.
amazing, each and every one of y'all. And to the devs and to the 2K Next Maker, Anonymous. You know, I make content and I just try to be funny, man. I have no hate toward any of y'all. You know, I just want us to have a great game and pay for what we get. You know, I don't want 2K to suck us. That's all.
Salute, Anonymous. Appreciate
Sir,
you, bro.
appreciate you, Anonymous.
Appreciate you, bro.
If anybody else want to come up, you let us know. Raise your hand, and we'll get you up. So, you know, this was all sparked for everybody that's in here. This was all sparked because today I released a short video after going through my PlayStation transaction history and found out I spent close to $1,200 on NBA 2K23. And that wasn't so much of a big deal, except when looking back on my experience playing 2K23, I realized that it wasn't really an enjoyable experience, at least comparing it to previous experiences. So I said, man, how do you spend that much money and you're not even having fun? That's where it becomes a problem. So I'll leave it on that. Folks, y'all could take the floor.
I'm gonna dip out for a little bit. If you saw the space going on a little bit later, I'll join back. But I got a few things to take care of. But
For sure.
appreciate you hosting the space and talking about it, bringing up
Appreciate you as
the
well,
topic because it's something that's on a lot of people's minds that people aren't really talking about. So stuff.
Appreciate you coming by, bro.
Yeah,
Most definitely appreciate y'all coming through.
You guys, yep, of course. Have a good day.
You too, bro.
You too, man.
I wonder how Jay-Eazy feel about this.
Yeah, I tried to get him to come in to speak, but I think he might be busy.
Yeah, you know, it's like there's a long-term effect, y'all. There's gonna be a long-term, short-term effect. Short-term effect is gonna feel more satisfying, fulfilling when you pay for those rewards and you get rewards. And you get rewards that, you know, you're gonna see people without, and they're gonna be looking at you. So a lot of folks just pay for that aspect, and that's what we're trying to regain as a 2K community. Because back in the day, we used to get your mascot that you grinded for, and I want to keep at the forefront of your mind. When we grinded for mascot before, it was a long grind. It's like what the legend grind is now. It was a super long grind to get to mascot. When you got that mascot and you brought him out, the crowd started. The crowds would crowd around you just for a mascot, let alone what it was to be legend. But the bad part about this, and should have served as a red flag, is that we did that tedious grind just to get to mascot, and they had us pay 300,000 VC as a reward for us. That should have been a hell of a red flag. So I'll leave the floor open.
You know what I noticed too about in 2K24 City is I'm pretty sure if you buy the season pass, they reward you with 15K VC, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with 15K
VC? that's under the Hall of Fame as well, y'all.
I can't even buy a shirt.
You're gonna go from a 60 to a 62.
15K.
You're gonna go from a 60 to a 62, bro.
That's the highest version of the pass.
I'll go from a 60 to a 61.
I'm gonna go from a brown shirt to a white shirt, man.
Man, y'all being generous, man. You ain't moving nowhere.
You ain't moving nowhere.
Nah, it's facts though, man. Like that's supposed to be the addition. So the way it works is the free version you get, from what I understand, 80 rewards, 40 for my team, 40 for my career. And then when you move on to the next version, you get a total of 120 rewards plus there's 4 additional season rewards. That's $10, but the jump up from $10 and the differences between the two packs is level skips, 15% XP boost, and I know there's one more.
Yeah, VC instantly.
The 15K VC. That's
Yeah,
at
thanks a
least
lot.
that's one of the rewards. There's one additional reward that you get for that $10.
Yep.
So pretty interesting how they even laid that down.
I guess like it's interesting because they decided to put the My Team and the My Player stuff together, and a lot of people just play one mode. I already see people like, why can't we just have one of each, or like have separate packages? Because it feels like if there's 40 extra rewards, 20 of them are My Team, and you're not playing My Team. What's really what use does it have for you? And so
that's not how it works. You're getting whatever mode you play, you get double the rewards. So if you play only My Career, you're going to be getting the My Career and My Team rewards, and all 40 of them.
Yep.
If you go to My Team, you could still increase, but you'll be getting your My Team and your My Career rewards. Same difference. But so I'm having trouble understanding the argument because I can't, like, I don't see what's the issue with. Are folks saying that they want the price lowered so they could only pay for My Career rewards? If that's what they're saying?
Possibly. I mean,
Okay.
I'm guessing that's what they mean in terms of like, okay, so like we don't play My Career. Like I've heard people talking about how like they want a pre-order package that's strictly My Career instead of having all the pre-order bonuses being part, like because they get stuff that they don't even use. That's not even part. Like they don't even see that as value. You're getting stuff that really is useless to you.
I get that perspective. I guess I'm thinking along the lines of 2K, where they're just like, what are you talking about? You would pay this much anyway, but we're just giving you extra stuff in case you go to the other mode. And if you get to go to the other mode, then they're going to try to get you to get them packs.
Mm-hmm.
But 2K wants people to play. They want
right.
you could see that they've been trying to funnel people into My Team because they've been putting those packs and free players in the level 40 for years, for ever since it started now. So and it's been part of the rewards. Also, they never separated them. They want people to play both modes.
So does the cost of My Team sorely mistaken?
Sorry.
No, I was saying, does the cost of My Team is it expensive?
I mean, it depends on how you play. If you want to open packs, you know how the packs are. If you ever bought a pack of cards back in the day when you were a kid, or like if you were ever still into it,
rabbit hole.
It is basically is gambling. You know what I mean? Like you pay $5 for a pack, and you have like a 2% chance of getting the card that that they're advertising, or you're gonna get something that's not worth the thing. So you're either setting $5 on fire, or you're getting something that's worth way more than the $5 in terms of just in-game value, in terms of like the system. But you can end up like these people. I've seen there's this dude, you guys, Troy Dan, the YouTuber. I mean, a lot of people know who he is, but he spent thousands of dollars on the card, just sat there for hours not getting the card, and it was just so depressing to watch. Like you see somebody throwing money on fire because you can't even get the card.
Well, see, that was gonna be my next question. Like, are you paying more on My Team than you paying on the other one? Which is why they would want you to go to My Team, because they're gonna make more money off My Team.
I guess
My Team is the moneymaker.
If they could turn you into a pack addict, I mean,
My Team is the moneymaker, from what I understand.
Yeah, they adopted that from Madden.
100%.
That's the loot box addiction that that does exist. That's one thing that I mean, you can avoid buying packs, of course, like but people enjoy that, and it becomes a thing that you just kind of rely on for that feeling. You know what I mean? Because that one pack that you open is the great feeling. It's like gambling,
It seems to be like where we're headed in the My Career sense as well, and that's the whole idea. That I know a lot of folks are thinking the builder is going to determine a lot, and I'm trying to bring awareness to the idea that regardless of what the builder presents you with, it's really about where 2K adjusts those sliders. Where are those gameplay sliders? What they're looking like? You guys saw a build, a 99 steel attribute go from extremely effective to just okay, or good enough at least. So you go from excellent to good enough. Uh, so where are they putting those sliders? And there's kind of the things that go in line with pack odds. Is we're gambling this money away before we even know what it's going to be looking like on the court. Don't get me wrong. If an 88 attribute looked like this consistently throughout the whole year, then I know what an 88 attribute for your 3-point shot looks like. And it's not so much shooting that changes, it's other aspects of the game that changes, but a 99 block or a 99 interior defense. This is what it looks like, and it stays like that the whole year. I'm happy. I'm okay. There's transparency there. But we're not getting that level of transparency. And I think this type of issue is what affects how effective the builder is, what type of impact the builder has.
That's interesting. I thought, like, you know how every season they come out with new SIGs? I thought they were going to use that to, like, address exploits and stuff like that. Like say, like, they had, like 6-1s weren't useful because you could get Jordan dribble style on a 6'9", no problem, right? Then they would introduce, like, a much better dribble style that is at a higher ball level, ball handle level. I mean, speed with ball level, so that maybe it'll make those people that made those builds more viable and bring some more variety to the table. But it seems more like they started releasing those just randomly, and didn't use it to address that. But then again, that kind of, it would introduce them changing the game in the meta and people making more builds. So I don't know. It's a two-way sword with that one. I just thought, I don't know what they intended with the gatekeeping of these animations. It seems like they could release new animations or something like that to just even things out, or make it more useful to get those builds, or get it make it not a 6'9" fest. You know what I mean?
Heck, would you consider yourself a casual?
No. I kind of force myself to play casually because
So you're saying you're below a casual, like you're.
No, I would say a casual is not like I pay way too much attention to 2K in order to be a casual.
Well,
I feel like,
I mean to say, no, I'm saying it's, like what the amount of time you spend on 2K is what I'm referring to.
Nah,
From
yeah,
that perspective.
I spend more. I spend more. I'm not a casual.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because I'm thinking that 2K is making the game. Like we know this game is developed around the casual. So from that perspective, if we want to know where they're headed, then we look at the casual. Where's 2K headed? We look at the casual. This is confusing. Oh, what? If it's confusing to veterans, imagine how it's going to feel to a casual. So they make a build, quickly spend that money on that build. And it's that process that, it's like we come up, we have issues and we speaking on issues for sure. And then I'm just like, but damn, then there's another layer to that joint. And here goes another layer. Casual, because there's a certain lack of transparency in the mechanics.
Yeah, that's true.
And what I'm referring to is mainly like what the sliders look like on your build when you get out on the court.
Also,
what the sliders. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about exactly that. What you're talking about, and
Yes,
I wanted
sir.
to give everybody a couple questions because I think we have to direct things a little better, so we could get to some solutions and then be able to move forward. Because I like what you did today. I actually saw the tweet and I was like, "Yo, this is popping." It's necessary, but I think that we got to redirect the attention. And then the first question that I'll ask, and we've been talking about it, and y'all made a lot of good points. The issue is we haven't came up with what is the solution, right? So like, how do we, where do we go? We got pieces of it, like everything that you're saying right now about how consistently it changes. But the problem is if they don't listen to the community when they release a game, then they get upset. They're complaining about, for example, steals were too overpowered. They stop that, and then now people get mad that the builds change. So there's a big issue on both sides because the developers are just trying to adjust for their community, but then they're costing us real life money to be able to make the builds, right? So this is where, the conversation earlier where you guys were talking about archetypes and trying to stick us into that. Some people don't like that. I don't, but it's a more reasonable thing where if they do adjust anything, you're stuck in that archetype. You're going to still have the same balanced style that could work. You follow where I'm going so far, all the city?
Yep.
So what I'm trying to say is we have to come up with a full list, just literally writing it down. This whole conversation, if we could record it and then just take notes on things that we feel can help for the community. And the second question I have for everybody, and this is me just throwing questions at y'all. The second question is, who is the person? It's not Ronnie. It's not Mike Wayne. It's not all these little developers that want clout on social media. It has nothing to do with them. This is about the executives. This is about some big top guy. I don't know who it is, but y'all can help me out and find out who it is. Then we can address the issue towards them and talk about them and not make the devs feel like they're the problem when they just trying to make the jump shots better. You know what I mean? Like some dude out there just making jump shots and people are screaming at him on Twitter like it's his fault. He ain't got nothing to do with all the rest. So that's where two topics, which one is the solution? Where do we go? We got a lot of ideas, but we got to put them down and make a stand on like what do we really want? Because I'm hearing everybody, but nobody got what they really want. Because we all mad, right? So I want to eat. You know, when your girlfriend mad, I want to eat. It's like, where? What do you want? I don't know. That's what I'm hearing this whole conversation. No disrespect to everybody here, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing, I want some, Italian today. It's like, you hungry, but where you want to eat? What are we going to do?
There's so many, like we even debate about that, like what would be considered, and maybe I think you make a good point, is that if we come to at least a consensus to say, all right, this is what needs to change. Priority, at least plan A would be boom, 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 boom. And then plan B after that, then we can negotiate boom, 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 boom. A little bit naive part to that, and I get it. Ideally, we think we could just reach out to.
No, we make a movement.
One of the execs.
But we're targeting it towards that person, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it definitely starts with a movement. I wish we could. I wish we did have access to, voice our grievances outside of the dev team, because then the dev team obviously ends up feeling attacked, and that's not the case here.
That
I think
happens,
the community just feels like. But yeah, I believe
it.
You
can go on Twitter right now and see them complain like, they're attacking me. You can literally see their tweets.
Yeah, I believe it. And
it's like the dude, Dazar, he doesn't do anything other than AI. He ain't got nothing to do with the problems we have in the community online. You know what I'm saying? Except,
it's facts.
I just feel for them because they work on a total different capacity, but there's nobody to speak to. So, like, it kind of directs to them because they're like a face. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of hard to like even determine who even.
That's my question. That's what I wanted us to work on for the next week.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out and start aiming at and shooting our shots over there where it need to be at, because then it's going to be like, all right, we got a solution. We're coming up with ideas because today was good. I like everything I heard, but all right, now I'm going to throw this at this dude. What's his email? Let's spam his email.
It's facts, though. This is facts. That's how you get things done.
I'm just saying.
Facts.
I'm just saying. I was listening to Anonymous, and he's Malcolm X in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling Anonymous when he was here. He ain't here no more, but he was speaking to real, and that was where we got to be at as a movement. This is more about real life. Like All City, again, just to compliment before I end my little rant here. The truth about just opening up, you spend $1,000+. I've never spent even half of that on 2K, but I end up wasting a lot of time in offline just to grind up some VC. So I feel where you coming from, and it's like an open, honest transparency that is needed in the community, and that was what was important. That's why I'm here.
Appreciate that.
Because of that.
Truly appreciate.
But I do think,
truly appreciate that.
I do think the direction is more important. Like, instead of saying that we're all hungry for something, let's talk about where we need to eat, how we're gonna get there, and then work on that. And then from there, like I said, we're gonna find out who are these people, right? And how to get publicly put them on blast instead of telling Mike Wayne yo, Mike Wayne, and he's just doing jump shots and dribbles most of the time. You know what I mean? And then the other guy, Desire, just does AI. He ain't know nothing about nothing online.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Nah, I feel
we
you.
we aiming at the wrong place, man. It's just a drive-by
Mm.
shootings that we're doing, and it's just in a park, random people getting shot at the whole time, and I just don't think that's fair. And just to make one more point for my man that was here earlier, it's the twin, whatever his name was.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, so you know he's a next maker. I'm not a next maker, but I've been a game changer. I've been for Ubisoft. I'm one right now. I'm partnering with them. Partnering with a lot of people.
Well, that's
And
dope.
the truth is that they don't pay you. First of all, they're just using you